Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakach. And Shalom, peace and blessings to 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. I'm going to title this video, A New Covenant of the People to Establish the Earth. And now this is from Isaiah 49 verse 8. And really this is the only precept you need to show you that we're not in the new covenant as of yet. The new covenant will come when its destruction comes, when we get delivered, when we out of this place, and we look down and see that destruction comes upon this place. And in the wilderness, it tells you in Ezekiel 20 verse 37, I believe the 37th verse. I know it's in Ezekiel 20. It said in the wilderness we should come up under the covenant. And that covenant is talking about the new covenant. So I title it A New Covenant of the People to Establish the Earth. But the actual scripture, it says a covenant of the people to establish the earth. So what covenant is it talking about? Well, we're going to attempt to read. Really, I wanted to read around here and read up until this point, but I'm going to wind up starting from the first verse. I may go ahead and just read the whole chapter, or jump around. Let's see where the Spirit leads me. Anyway, so let me just read this. Isaiah 49 verse 8. Thus saith Yahweh, in an acceptable time have I heard thee. In a day of salvation have I helped thee. Thus saith Yahweh, in an acceptable time have I heard thee. So we're crying unto the Father. Matthew 25, a cry was made. And they trimmed their lamps. Matthew 25. So when the cry is made, that's when the Most High listens, because he puts the Spirit on you to make that cry. And it started with Abba Bivens, which is Elijah the prophet, coming back. Then you have what's called the seven, and then you have us, which are the men that came up under the seven, which some of them fell off, some of them is in the spiritual realm. So none of the seven are really teaching this gospel. You have the former high priest Lahab. I think his title now is the Elder Lahab, and he's teaching the scriptures, but he believes that the Edomites can make it and other nations can make it. So none of the seven, you can safely say, are not teaching the truth. Ariah is not teaching the truth. High priest Shaw is not teaching the truth, even though they know that they're Israelites. You got Yeshai, High priest Yeshaya, formerly High priest Yeshaya, High priest Gazak. They're not out there teaching the truth. They're not on the highways and the byways. They're not doing YouTube videos. Now you had Kazak, what was this, 3 years ago, maybe? Something like that. Somebody helped me out. He was on one YouTube page, and somebody else picked it up. And he was talking about he's one of the original members of the seven, which was true. We confirmed it. We said, yep, he's one of the men of the original members of the seven, which we call the seven. And then you have us. You know, we all come from the same time, the same era. After the 7, you have myself, you have Johanna, you have Nate, which Nate was in my camp, came up under me, and as far as the camp, but he came up under the 7. You have Barak, Zabak, he was a lot younger. You even got so you got I can name names. I'll just name a few of them. So so you got Abba, which is the first generation, the 7, which is the second, we the third generation. You brother that came in through mainly YouTube, you are represented as the 4th. You represent the 4th. The 4th generation. But anyway, before I go into this, I was watching this video. Okay, so right here, okay, the rich man's mentality is what will cause a lot to succumb to the hour of temptation. And if you've been watching our videos, you know that the hour of temptation, and in NLT it says a time of testing, I believe. And that test is going to be whether you're going to take that chip or not. Okay, so I'm just going to let it play from here. 2 minutes, 29 seconds in of a 27 video. I did 28-minute video. I just listened to about here. So I said, let me just go right here, because he starts talking about the charagma. And then I'm going to go back into the subject concerning the covenant. You only really need one precept to prove that that we're not under the new covenant yet. And that's Isaiah 49. But there's other precepts as well.
Now, one of the examples that I can use is when this beast makes it mandatory for you to receive his M-A-R-K.
And you should all know what the beast, when we say the beast, you should all know what that means. Certain things should pop up in your head. NATO, the EU, the United States and Canada, which they have an alliance. Even though the U.S. and Canada is not part of the EU, they're an alliance, they're allies. They're an alliance with them. But they're actually part of NATO. NATO nations are part of EU nations and vice versa. Turkey, for example, they want to join BRICS. If they haven't joined BRICS, they're going to have a gathering of the BRICS nations, which is to counteract the beast system, which proves that Russia is not a part of the beast. Anyway, let me let it play. And we're going to find out in 13 days what's going to happen, who's going to be the new president.
It's charagma. And the only way for you to maintain your monetary gain, your material possessions, the riches that you have, the things that you believe that you worked hard for, the money that you done hustled the people for, you grifters out there. There's going to be a point where you're going to have to make a choice. He's going to tell you can keep everything that you own, or you can take everything that you're worth and translate it if you want to keep it. But the way to keep it is if you translate it into this new monetary system. Liquidate everything, but you're going to have to transfer it from the old system into this new system.
And that includes the web. We're not going to have access to the web. We're going to be completely off the grid. If you don't take that charagma, the C hip, micro C hip, you're gonna be completely. You got debit cards in your wallet, right? That's gonna be just plastic. Throw that shit out. Credit cards. You can't live in an apartment. You can't have a house because you got to pay taxes in order to live in a house. You got to pay property taxes. Well, how you gonna pay it if you ain't got no digital currency? Because you need the microchip first. And like I said in previous videos, and this subject keeps coming up, you know, about the MOTB, and that it's going to be a major game player, a major game changer, excuse me, among these camps. These camps are saying, there's certain camps are saying it's not with GMS. GMS is going off. GMS high priest is Alex Jones, because Alex Jones taught about the chip. We've been teaching about the chip long before Alex Jones came on the scene. We were teaching about the chip when Alex Jones was, what's this guy? What the hell is his name? What the hell is his name? I forget his name. It was a comedian. Bill Hicks. Bill Hicks. That's Bill Hicks coming back. But anyway, we've been teaching about it, and we haven't changed. We haven't changed the doctrine. We haven't added to it, take away from it. So it's here. And they could introduce it to the world in the year 2025. So it's going to shake you guys, you other Israelite groups. And the ones of you that blindly follow your leaders. You know what I find out about Israel? And this is not the men of GMS, the leadership, the elders. If we say something that's off, they're gonna say, "Nah, you're going off on that." These other groups, for the most part, don't say that. Whatever their leader says, that's gospel. That's like the Most High talking. Unless if you're a window shopper, and if you're in these other groups and you're part of the elect, you're going to immediately, your headmaster, your master teacher tells you to take it, you're going to say no, and you're going to abandon him. You're going to leave him. But then you're going to have deal with that test. What is your wife going to say? Your children going to say? They got to eat too. So that's a major prophecy. That's why we always do videos on it. Now, this video I'm doing is on the covenant, the new covenant, whether we're in the new covenant or not, or still in the old covenant, or between the old and new covenant. But the Spirit just got on me to go into this, the MOTB, since I came across this video. So I'm going to get into this main subject in a little bit.
And the only access to it is through this particular system. And y'all know where I'm going with this. Because, we can't continue to ignore this forever. All right, this is it's coming quickly. And, this is the elephant in the room that we're constantly addressing, but
Yeah, he said it's coming quickly because the technology is already here. There's people that have chips. The only thing that has to happen to fully fulfill the prophecy is a majority of the people, we're talking 95, 98% of the people that want to stay on the grid on a global level, they got to take that chip. Told you, I said, it's going to be it's going to shake a lot of people up. I gotta watch this. This title got to me. Okay. Listen to a little bit more.
So-called prophets, watchmen, they're still pretending to be stuck on stupid. All right, they're still being dumb dogs who cannot bark, loving to slumber. The only way for you to be able to maintain all those monetary possessions, your riches, is you're gonna have to receive that mark, and those of our people that have this mindset, the mindset of this rich man right here, it's safe to say what choice you're gonna make. You're gonna fail the test, because if you was willing to do any manner of corruption, any immoral thing to even receive those riches, you'll be willing to do it to maintain it, to hold on to it, to not have to lose it. So let's just read this. All right, and then we can apply it to the point that I'm trying to make. So this is Matthew 19:16. It says, someone came to Yahushua with this question, and I'm reading this in the New Living Translation. It says, teacher, what good deed must I do to have eternal life? And this is the rich man asking Yahushua the question. Yahushua asks, why ask me about what is good? Yahushua replied, there is only one who is good. But to answer your question, if you want to receive eternal life, keep the commandments. And you got men in the truth. Well, hey, I don't sin. Show me what sin am I committing. I keep the commandments. Look, I got my fringes. All right, look, I got my beard on my face. Look, I don't eat swine. All right. So Jake, they boast in the law, right? Which ones? The man asked. Yahushua replied, you must not murder. You must not commit adultery. You must not steal. You must not testify falsely. Honor your father and mother. Love your neighbor as yourself. I've obeyed all these commandments, the young man replied. What else must I do? Yahushua told him, if you want to be perfect, go and sell all your possessions and give the money to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. Then come follow me. So Yahushua said, well, take the monetary possession that you have, all these riches that you got stored up for yourself, and send it to charity, give it to those who need it. Distribute it amongst the poor. Right? Look out for your brothers and sisters that need compassion, right? And you'll have heavenly treasures. You'll be rich towards the Lord, right? Then come and follow me. Now this is what he says. But when the young man heard this, he went away sad, for he had many possessions.
Yeah, so it's not about following the laws only. It's about he failed the test because he said he followed the laws. Keep the laws. Keep the laws. That's the only way you can get in the kingdom of heaven. No, not according to Yahushua. He said you're lacking something. You got to take them riches, give it to the poor, and then you can follow me. He said, nah, I ain't with that. I'll keep them laws, but I ain't giving up this money. So he's not going to make it on the first go round. He's going to suffer the second death. See, IUIC teaches this, but they don't go another verse down where it says, you're still lacking. What am I lacking? I keep all the laws. Yeah, but you got to give what you have to the poor. Then you can follow me.
So just think about that. The fact that it had to weigh on his spirit And then instead of doing what the Lord said and following him and, distributing everything to the poor, which is in the law, he walked away. Basically, it was going to hurt him to walk away from everything that he owned and possessed. And he wasn't able to deal with that. So think about in this day and time, you didn't, made an empire for yourself. Whatever it is that you do, you're doing well for yourself now, right? You have good income, right? You're well off. But now everything's just collapsed. The monetary system just collapsed. The Federal Reserve note is no longer any good. There's no value in it anymore. But now Esau is now granting you with a choice. You don't have to lose everything. All you have to do is just translate it. We no longer will take everything in Federal Reserve notes. We now are dealing with central bank digital currency. And we no longer use cards, debit cards, credit cards. Everybody has to get an implant. Just like you had to get that shot, a few years ago if you wanted to, go certain places.
Yeah, which it was a test run. It was a test run to see how many people, and the majority of the people took it. They ran. They heard the government. Oh, the government's saying it, and the CDC and the WHO. I don't want to die. Then y'all lined up. Y'all took days off from your job. I went to certain places where you had, like these buses with nurses in there with tents in it, and this was like in the city. And I noticed that in the hood, a lot of people, you might have seen one or two people online. Something about that, and I ain't with that. But you go where them Edomites are, they were lined up. There were certain areas that you go to where they were lined up. There's one place, well, a couple of places where Edomites live. And they were lined up. They wait on the line for hours to get them jump shots, and then get the booster jumps, the jump boots, however you want to say it. I got to speak in code here. And but I know personal people that have went to the spiritual realm over that. So that was a dry run. So they know. They say, okay, based upon this dry run, this test, 92% of the people was with it. So we got to work on the 8% of Americans is not with it, and then you got the other governments that they some of them 75% is with it, 25% a lot. Another country, 98% is with it, 2%. So we got to get that 2%. So that's how it's going to work. And they're going to do the same thing. You don't get this, you're not going to work. You can't go on public transportation. You can't have a car because you got to register the car. Like I said, you can't have an apartment because you got to pay rent, and you need the charagma to do it. So all these different Jake groups with their ideas, the Black Consciousness, the Moors, Christians, and Black Christians, they don't know what the hell's going on. And the black churches, I would say, they'll have people in there to chip you up. And then you have the pastor say a sermon, and he'll probably most likely go to Romans chapter 13, the first couple of verses. And he'll say that means obey the government. The government looking out for you. The ones that we're gonna laugh too when we see you dumb, monkey-minded, you conscious Jake, all of you gonna take it. All of you gonna, because you don't know not to take it, not to take it. You don't have the information that tells you from your religion, way of life, oh, don't take this thing, it'll do this to you, because you ain't in the scriptures. You say the scriptures is a white man's book. So that's the time of great testing. Let's listen to a little bit more, and I'm gonna get into my subject.
If you need to conduct business, if you wanted to continue to go to work. So when they hit you with that same ultimatum, but this time is with.
Oh, and how can you? What if you say, oh, I don't care, I'm not gonna take it. You can't eat either because you got to buy food.
The implant, and that's the only way you're going to be able to maintain everything that you possess. How many of you are going to be able to walk away and say, you know what, they can have all this. This doesn't mean anything to me. What matters most is my salvation. I want eternal life. So if I'm willing to lose my life right now to gain that, that's what I'm going to do. And it's easier said now than done later. So if money is your thing, you know, that's the end all be all. That's the primary goal or value of life. You know, this is what you think makes you high value. You willing to do anything for it. You know, whether you are in a church hustling, Jake, you know, or you in this truth and you watering down the doctrine, all right, to teach lies so that you can, you know, gain a filthy lucre. You know, you selling the truth, you monetizing everything. You selling breakdowns, you selling prayers. You know, this is for you. So this is a valuable lesson right here to learn from. Because really, when you think about it, this rich man right here, even though he was claiming he was keeping these commandments, his soul was compromised by that money. That's why Yahweh Shai said,
yeah, making it is more than keeping the commandments. In order for you to make it, you got to do more than keep the commandments. What did Yahweh Shai say? You must exceed the righteousness of the, I believe he said scribes or Sadducees. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Give me a second here. I'm a lousy speller, so okay, let's see if this is it. Let's see what comes up. Okay, I found it. Matthew 5 verse 20. For I say unto you that except your righteousness, which is the law's, shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, ye shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven. So if there, and he was talking to the Israelites that knew that they were Israelites. The Gentile Israelites, they didn't force the law on them. They said that you had to keep certain laws. Paul said that in Colossians, and Peter said that in Acts 15, Colossians 2. So let me pull out a couple of words. So it's not about you keeping the law. It goes deeper than keeping the law in order for you to make it. You got to give your riches to the poor and follow the Lord. And I'm not telling y'all, if you, oh my goodness, I got 50,000 in the bank, let me go ahead and get. No, you'd be stupid. If the Most High bless you, Apostle Paul said, I know, not so many words, I know how to be a base and how to abound. So his point with the Apostle Paul was doing good, and he was scraping pennies. Well, pennies is a day wages back then, so he's scraping less than pennies. So let's pull out some words here. Righteousness. Righteousness means to do the right thing. And doing the right thing is the laws. You as an Israelite, what do I do? How do I do the right thing? Well, keep the laws. Love your neighbor as yourself, and the most High. Right, righteousness is the condition, the condition acceptable to the Most High, the doctrine concerning the way in which man may attain a state approved of the Most High, integrity, virtue, purity, rightness. Yeah, if you don't lay with your neighbor's wife, that's a right thing. If you lay with your neighbor's wife, that's not a righteousness. If you bear false witness, that's not righteousness. And the reason why the apostle Yahushua said what he said is because those wicked scribes and Pharisees, they really wasn't keeping the law. He said, so you can't be like them. So anyway, let's go back into this. So it's more than just keeping the laws, Bishop Nate. Hey, you breaking the law right now. You call us bums, and you ain't got no checkbook ready to write us a check. You even said that. Oh, these guys want me to write them a check. We don't need you to write us no goddamn check, but we throw that in your face since we're bums. If we're bums, oh, we're black Hebrew Israelites, and they're not. Just so y'all can know how they feel about you, all these different Israelite groups are considered black Hebrew Israelites, but the IUIC are just Israelites. So they're separating themselves from you. Like when it says they shall cast you out of their synagogues. When you look that up, it means to separate you from there. Matter of fact, let me do that. Let me go ahead and do that. There's lessons within lessons. I believe it's Matthew 10. It's in Matthew 10. Let's see. Okay, that's not it. Let me try this. That's not it either. Let me do it this way. They will cast you out of their synagogues. Okay, so I got it. St. John 16, verse 2. They shall put you out of the synagogues. Yea, the time cometh that whosoever killeth you will think that he doeth the Most High service. And that applies to Paul and others. Because Paul thought he was doing the right thing. So now let me look at the word synagogues.
Strong's G 656. Aposunagogas. Aposunagogas.
Aposunagogas. Exclude from sacred assemblies of Israelites. Excommunicated. We got excommunicated from the house of David because we said that Cornelius is an Israelite. And they said, no, Cornelius is an Edomite, so y'all out of here. And then shortly thereafter, they started teaching that Cornelius is Israelite, which you gotta answer for that, Bishop Nate. Because the rest of them guys are back in the world. All them guys that were back there back in the world, except for Bishop Nate. When I say that, that means that they're not on the highways and the byways. They're not on YouTube. They just went back into the world. They're doing their thing. So synagogue is a place, but synagogue is also a gathering. Exclude you from sacred assemblies of Israelites. Excommunicated. So that's what I wanted. Let's come back over here. Listen to a little bit more.
What profit you if you shall gain the world and lose your soul? But what shall you give in exchange?
Yeah, there's a short that Bishop Nate said, we're going to go farther now. We want to open supermarkets. We want to open up buildings. We want to do this. That's not the way to go. Because you can say we're doing it for the people, but you're really doing it for yourself. Because you got enough money for the people and you got more money for yourself. Oh, I can do more things with this. In James, it said, what is it, James 2, it said this was given to the poor. And being that IUIC refers to us as black Hebrew Israelites, and they're not black, they're just Israelites, as they're looking down, we the guys, you guys are imposters, and we're going to look down at you. Let me go to James 2. How did I get a K up in there? And when Bishop Nate says, you guys are a bunch of bums. Well, he's saying it in this spirit. He's saying it in this spirit, in the spirit of James 2. My brethren, have not the faith of Yahushua HaMashiach, the Lord or Kyries of glory, with respect to persons. You guys are a bunch of black Hebrew Israelites. We're Israelites. You guys are a bunch of bums. Look at what we're doing, the buildings, the people, the guy. Do you see us marching down the street? That doesn't make you righteous. For if there come unto your assembly a man with a gold ring and godly apparel and goodly apparel, and there come in also a poor man in vile raiment, which is clothing, and ye have respect to him that weareth the gay meaning happy, because before gay was applied to them people, bundle of sticks, gay meant that you were happy. Clothing, and say unto him, sit thou here in a good place, and say to the poor, stand thou there, or sit here under my foot. And then you just sit right over there, nigga. Are ye not then partial in yourselves? Cut and are become judges of evil thoughts, and become judges of when you say you guys are a bunch of bums, that's judges of evil thoughts, because the law got to kick in. Oh, these guys are not doing too well. Let me write them a check. It says, but hearken, my beloved brethren, have not the Most High chosen the poor bums of this world, rich in faith, and heirs of the kingdom, which he hath promised to them that love him. If we love him because we call on the name of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. But ye have despised the poor. You bunch of bums. You bunch of black Hebrew Israelites. The Levite said, anything we say is in the script. The script is in agreement with anything we say. If Barney the purple dinosaur is a beast, that's what it is, because IUIC said it. Do not rich men oppress you. Rich, look at that bum over there, and draw you before the judgment seats. Do not they blaspheme that worthy name by the which ye are called. Let me read that in the NLT 7 verse. Aren't they the ones who slandered Yahushua HaMashiach, whose noble name you bear? Because we bear the name of Yahushua, not Christ. Let me come back over here. How can you claim to have faith in our glorious Lord Yahushua HaMashiach if you favor some people over... You favor some people. You a black Hebrew Israelite. For example, suppose someone comes into your meeting dressed in fancy clothes and expensive jewelry, and another comes in who is poor and dressed in dirty clothing. If you give special attention and a good seat to the rich person, but you say to the poor one, you can't stand over there, or else sit on the floor, nigga. Doesn't this discrimination show that your judgments are guided by evil motives? Because the guy that has the rich, the happy clothing, and he's got the ring, that means he got money. Oh, we can get more money. This nigga look like he got some money. So let me come back and let me listen to a little bit more of this.
For your soul. And that's literally what you'll be doing when it comes down to the MOTB. If you'll be willing to receive that mark in order to, make that exchange, you're selling your soul basically to keep everything that you possess, everything that you thought that you gained through whatever it is that you may have done.
And the masses of Jake is gonna. I see the masses of Jake gonna accept it unless they're of the elect. You know, some people that don't listen to this truth or watch the videos and don't accept it, and when it's time to get, you know, Michael C hip, they're just gonna say, "Nah, I'm not gonna do it. Something's telling me not to do it." Well, that person could be one of the elect. Then eventually he finds out what it is. Like I said, it's gonna be a major shaking. That's why we always bring it up. Now let me go into the lesson that I was gonna put together. Let me come back over here. I'm sorry. No, let me come over here. So this is the main thing that I wanted. Isaiah, this right here show you that the new covenant comes after we're delivered. I say the ones that shall be delivered and changed in a moment, a twinkling of an eye at the last trump. When the ones of us that are changed, if we are of the elect, I believe we will be perfect in our mind, and the law will be in us. I mean, it doesn't say that because it says we're going to come under the new covenant in the wilderness. So that's after we're delivered. It says nothing that defiles shall enter in. So we got to be changed. We got to be perfect. So let me read 7 again. Thus saith Yahweh, the Redeemer of Israel, and his Holy One, to him whom men despise, to him whom the nations abhor, to a servant of rulers, kings shall see and arise, princes shall also worship, because of the Yahweh that is faithful, and the Holy One of Yasha'Allah, and he shall choose thee, the Israelites. Thus saith Yahweh, in an acceptable time have I heard thee. So when did he start hearing? Abba, 7, first generation, second generation, third generation, and you guys represent the fourth generation. And in a day of salvation, what is salvation? To be, matter of fact, let me go ahead and look that up. The churches say, I'm saved in the blood of Jesus. When you look up the word saved in the New Testament, it's talking about being delivered from impending danger. So you're not saved. Salvation. I already know what it's going to say. Yashawai. Yashai. Salvation, deliverance, welfare, prosperity, deliverance, salvation by the Most High, victory. You know, you're on a train track, your car is stuck, and the train is coming, and somebody comes and breaks a window open, pulls you out. That person that's when you apply the word salvation. The righteous shall scarcely make it. That's when the salvation comes in, when the missiles are upon this place, that's when salvation is going to come. So churches say, I'm already saved in the blood of Jesus. You don't understand the scriptures. In the day of salvation have I helped thee. First of all, the Most High hears you. In the day of salvation have I helped thee. How are we going to be helped? By being beamed up before the missiles hit. And I will preserve thee, protect thee, put thee in the safety, protect thy welfare, and give thee for a covenant of the people. And give thee for... So the covenant's going to come after the destruction, after we're delivered. And we're secured. Preserved, meaning to be secured. And give thee for a covenant of the people. What's the covenant of the people? The new covenant. So we're not under the new covenant yet. Because if we would keep the laws, and our neighbors would keep the laws. Now you might brag, yeah, I keep all the laws. But what about your neighbor? Does he keep all the laws? To establish the earth, what does it mean to establish the earth? To take over the whole earth. Saints of the Most High will take the kingdom and possess it forever and forever and forever. To cause to inherit the desolate heritage. So let me look up the word inherit and heritage. Inherit. And the word there is nachal. To get possession, acquire, inherit, possess, to take possession. Saints of the Most High will take the kingdom. To have or get as a possession or a property. To divide the land for a possession. Desolate, to cause to inherit the desolate heritage. What does it mean by desolate? Let's look up the word desolate. Because the land that we're going to possess is going to be desolate, so it's got to be built back up. The word is shamam. Waste, desolation, destroyed, astonish, amaze. To be desolate, be appalled, stunned, stupefied, deflowered. Made desolate. So our Babylon will be desolate. It will not be built back up. That's where you get the word desert from. Also, our land, the headquarters of this kingdom, is going to be desolate too, but it's going to be built back up. So let's look up the word heritage. Thus saith Yahweh, in an acceptable time. I'm sorry. Why does it keep doing this? There we go. Heritage. The word is nachala. Nachala. Possession, property, inheritance, inheritance, property, portion, share, inheritance, portion, which is talking about the land. So, I'm sorry, let's come on back. Thus saith the Lord, in an acceptable time have I heard thee, Abba, the 7, the third generation and the fourth generation. You guys represent the fourth generation. We represent the third generation. You represent the fourth generation of the prophets. And in a day of salvation, we're going to be saved, right? The Lord's got to hear us first. The cry's got to be made first. And in the day of salvation, when does that salvation come? When the missiles get ready to hit this place and we're delivered from impending danger. The righteous shall scarcely make it. Have I helped thee, delivered us, and will preserve thee, keep thee safe, and give thee for a covenant. So when are we going to get the covenant? After we get delivered in the ships. And it actually says, Ezekiel 20:37, I believe it's the 37th verse. You can start about the 30th verse. We're going to come under the bond of the covenant. So what are you guys talking about? And what covenant is it talking about? The new covenant of the people. What people? Oh, everybody. The body of believers. Nope, the Israelites. National Israel. To establish the earth. Saints of the Most High shall put the earth under the order. And all nations will come up under the law. And we're going to be the priests. It's not going to be just Levi. It's going to be all of us is going to be the priests. And the chief priest is of the tribe of Judah, which is Yahushua. The first priest, before Levites even came up, the first Levi was born. Before Levi was even born, Abraham met Melchizedek, king of righteousness. Malak Tazedek, king of righteousness. Malak Shalom, king of peace, which he was the priest. He was the high priest. Abraham gave him 10% of all he had. And stop listening to IUIC. Oh, that's only talking about the shoulder and this and grapes. And no, it's talking about money too. Because what did Abraham possess? Because he possessed land. Did he give him a plot of his land? No. He gave him anything that he had, which he had gold, silver, and other things. So part of the tithing, how do you look? Let me show you how stupid these guys are. How do you think, why did the Romans during the time of Vespasian and Titus, why did they raid the treasury? Because there was all kind of riches in there, gold and silver, and other things in there. But wait a minute, where did these Levites get all this money from? From the people. The money changes, what was that all about? When you came in to the Passover, or 3 times out of the year, what did you give to the high priest? You gave them, you didn't bring cattle with you. Oh, here, I got 100 cattle. I brought you 10 of them. No, it doesn't work that way. They had to change their money that they were born in to the half shekel of the temple, as Bill Hill said, or whatever his name is. And then they had to use it. That's why the Lord whipped them. Because what they were doing a thing called price gouging. They said, okay, it's that time of the year, all the people are coming. They have no choice but to pay the price that we give them. We're going to raise the price up. So in between high holy days, the price went back down to normal. So they said, here they come, let's raise the price. So they were profiting off of Israel to inherit the what? The desolate heritage, because it's going to be desolate. So when does the covenant come? In between us being delivered and taking the kingdom. I don't got to read no more. Then it says, once we come under the covenant and we establish the kingdom, it says, 9th verse, that thou mayest say to the prisoners, who are the prisoners? Israelites, go forth to them that are in the darkness, that don't know. That's why the Most High got to send us out there. Show yourselves. They shall feed in the ways, and their pastures shall be in all high places. They shall not hunger nor thirst, because we're going to be in the kingdom. Neither shall the heat nor sun smite them, for he that hath mercy on them, which is Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, shall lead them where we're going to be led in the kingdom. And we're going to have the laws, which is the new covenant. It's going to be written in our hearts. even by the springs of water shall he guide them. And I will make all my mountains a way, and my highways shall be exalted. Behold, these shall come from far. Israelites are going to come. They elect from the four corners of the earth, from the one part of the heaven to the next. Matthew 24. And lo, these from the north and from the west, and these from the land of Sinim, which I'm not going to look up. Sing, O heavens, and be joyful, O earth, and break, that's the kingdom, forth in the singing, O mountains. For Yahweh have comforted who is his people, Israel. So when we're going to get the comfort? When we get the covenant. And will have mercy upon his afflicted. And you can read this whole chapter. Now it says right here in the headings, salvation reaches to the end of the earth. Where are we? On the other side of the earth. The great deliverance is going to come here in the west, smack dab in the middle of Canada and Central and South America, which is America. That's the great deliverance. But the elect that are scattered through different parts of the earth, they're going to be delivered as well. And if they were not to be delivered, they're not going to be destroyed because there ain't no missiles going to hit them. The great deliverance is coming out of Babylon the Great. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom. I went a little long. Please forgive me. And on to the next shalom.